All right, guys, here we're going to talk about the movie Monster Party. 2018's Monster Party, Lee. Had you seen it before?
Monster Party, that's right, not Murder Party, which I keep trying to say and keep trying to think this entire time. That's a whole different movie. This is Monster Party. Obviously, I haven't seen it. It's new. It's relatively new.
Relatively new.
Came out in the last few years. I was busy. Yeah.
I caught this one, I think, on Shudder or something the first
Okay,
time.
okay. I would say this film is definitely like style over substance or whatever, but I like style, and I think style is a form of substance, and I kind of dug it. I thought it was fine. I thought it was fun, it was good, and it actually has some cool things if you want to analyze it, which we probably won't even do. So that's a treat for later.
It's got style. It's got a lot of recognizable people in this.
Yeah.
You know, some people that have become famous since this coming out.
What? Tell me later.
We'll get over that in the spoiler section. And, you know, why dilly-dally? If you've seen it or don't care, follow the spoilers. And if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, guys, here we are for the spoilers of Monster Party. Lee, let me hear them spoiler-filled thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I hesitate. I don't want to say it's good because I feel like because it's kind of hip and flashy that if I say it's good, there might be this reaction like, oh, they tricked you. It's not good. It's not as good as you think it is. They just made it look flashy and cool with interesting edits and music and some lighting and shit. But I like that shit, so I think it's
good. It was effectively used. It reminds me of what was the one we watched, The Evil Within or whatever, with the like.
That is such a fucking generic title. I have no idea.
There was one where like they we're gonna kidnap these people and get money, but they realize the people inside are actually monsters themselves.
Fine. I'll get you the money. I'll do whatever you want as long as my family are unharmed.
I was trying to avoid the spoilers of saying reptilians.
Oh, that's like an action. Yeah, I forgot all about that.
But a similar premise where like it's like, okay, we're the bad guys. They're so much worse than us.
It obviously reminded me of Fresh Meat for various reasons too.
It's just a suggestion, little brother. We're in the burbs now. The neighbors don't like their lives disturbed.
Like there's a whole like you don't know what you bargained for here in this
Fresh Meat,
mansion and stuff. Yeah, it's and I liked Fresh Meat a lot for the same reasons. I'm like, okay.
Oh my God. Well, where do you think we got our meat from, dear? It's got to be fresh killed.
So Monster Party, you have a group of thieves. You know, they're kind of clever burglars in a way.
Yeah,
I don't fully understand their technique.
It's true.
So like it opens up to establish what they do.
Yeah.
And they're breaking into this house and they're taking the stuff. They have a girl who's a lookout who distracts people.
Hey, you have a minute to talk about trying to save the rainforest?
And they're kind of crafty. Where like they have some high-tech thing to turn off the alarm, and then they're drilling out the deadbolt and swapping it
with another one.
And I was like, okay, that's cool. I guess if you know what kind of bolt they use, and it's a quick change bolt, you could change it back to the same key, presumably.
Knows? Yeah.
But I don't think you can do that without the key. I don't know how that worked, honestly.
Listen, I like that they are portrayed as being clever and almost like effectively it's magic, right? These are like a trio of talented young wizards trying to make their way in in the world, and they encounter these like impenetrable sorcerers or whatever. And they have to deal with it or whatever. It's this awesome little. I love that they each have a different thing that they specialize in. They're talented, they're hip, and right in the beginning, even the filmmaking. He's on the bike and he rolls up and the camera whips over to them. They wave. It's like awkward timing, and then it whips back to him. It really communicates this the way it's following him around.
He looked like he aged or something during that opening sequence on the bike. Either his hair was changing dramatically or something was happening, because when it got to the end, I was like, same guy.
He's very much like a drip. He's very much like but that's the character, right?
Yeah.
It works and stuff. But yes, he's a bit. I want to call him lumpy, but he's not physically lumpy. His soul is lumpy.
He's got a lumpy soul.
Lumpy soul.
He could marry the lumpy princess.
Well, if you want these lumps, you gotta put a ring on it. Where's my ring?
So we've set up that they're competent thieves, but we've also set up that they're struggling, they're scrounging. What do they say? It's like $200 each or something, and you're like, holy
$250,
fuck.
something where you're like, wait a minute,
like,
you just
wait,
did
what?
A whole lot of work for this.
That was an entire op. That was an entire
And it looked
thing.
like that safe alone had like a fucking wad.
I don't know what they were in there.
Ones?
Yeah.
I don't know.
234 pesos.
And he sees like a birth certificate or something. Like I don't know
because
what
he's
they're
studying the certificate, trying to figure out the password.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because for a second I thought like, what are they even in here to steal? But yes, it was to get the fucking yeah. He's like he's like Baby Driver for safe cracking or something, right? He has this weird thing going on.
That would not work for a lot of people in the world.
Of course.
Like I myself have a safe.
Don't brag about your security.
No, but my thing is just when you first got it, it's like here's a suggested code, and that's what I have. You can never guess mine. Like you have to know what safe I have.
Watch, every safe has the same suggested code. That's
1, 2, 3, 4 is everybody's code. Bullshit.
That's the same as on my luggage. Yeah, exactly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, that's amazing. I've got the same combination on my luggage.
But no, my theory in general is that with safes is that they're very heavy and you bolt them to the ground in most scenarios.
Yeah, just to make it more trouble than it's worth.
Exactly, it's giving you a little bit more trouble. Like nothing is foolproof, but if you can get a 200-pound safe off the second floor without me noticing, good on you. You deserve what's in there. It's Lego instructions. Fucking idiot.
But they're the original ones. You need to keep them in a specific, because they'll be worth something someday. And it's a fire safe, because if the house burns down...
It is a fire safe.
You don't want your Lego instructions to get singed.
The Legos will all go up in flames, but not the instructions.
What I love, and I'm not going to be too heavy with like analysis here too, is that he says, tell you what, here's $20, just get out of my face.
Tell you what, here's $20. Oh. Please don't come back.
That's what it's worth for these people who are such small fish compared to, like the final boss is like $20. They did all this work just to extract 10 times as much. They did 1,000 times more work than like, hey, the rainforest and just nothing. And they just squeezed a tiny little bit of, out of them. It's so...
And they almost got caught.
Yes, it's so risky and so dangerous and so like, so much work, so much fucking shit. And just to... Yeah. And that really sets the tone for like, why would they do this? Why are they in on this? Why
and
are
like
they
a relatively decent job would pay you that much, like in a day. Like,
yes.
You'd also have health insurance. Like it's very outlandish.
That'd be ridiculous.
But like it opens up and like we see these rich kids in their backyard or whatever, and one of those girls is Starlight from The Boys.
Exactly.
And so she's blown up since this came out and gotten very famous.
That's who you were hinting at.
That's who I was talking about,
Okay.
yes.
Because for the whole movie, I'm like, who is that? She doesn't have a lot of lines. She's the daughter of the rich people, right? She's in the house, in the mansion that we're getting to. And the whole time, I'm like, she looks like somebody. Then later she gets more lines, and I'm like, she's good. Who is this? And then fucking.
There's not much.
I've only seen season 1 of The Boys, in my defense, and I saw it years ago. No, I know. So that's why I was like, had I been keeping up to date with The Boys, I would have instantly recognized her. But yes.
There's not much, info on the IMDb page of this movie, which I was hoping to have let me get some juicy giblets. Like, what do we got here?
Juicy giblets.
But like the one thing they have here is it says like blah blah's first and I think only nude scene or something.
The boys are gone.
And I'm like, oh, that must be like the video stripper person. I'm like, who is that? I click the name and it's her. And I'm like, was she naked in this movie?
I'll see you back down in the dungeon.
Yeah.
I don't remember that happening. I think that's such a weird... There's like 6 facts about the movie, and that's one of them. And I'm like, was that cut? Is that not in the DVD? I don't know. I didn't see it when I watched it on streaming either.
There's not even an excuse for her to be naked.
I can't imagine when that would happen. No.
I think she's dressed the same the whole time. She doesn't even change her clothes.
She's in a bathing suit when it starts, and then her same outfit the whole rest of the movie.
Oh, I forgot about the whole cold open. How does that fit in? Don't worry about it.
It doesn't.
Okay. You got me. I was like, oh no, and you're like, no, I know. It doesn't work. You can safely ignore that.
I'm going to show you this really awesome, real easy cucumber onion marinated salad today that is great for all your picnics and stuff because it is starting to get like real.
But like there are other famous people in this, and I forget both their names, but the girl who's from Empire Records, Prison Break, Dr. Doom, and Nip Tuck.
And outsmarted the great Reed Richards.
I was going to say Mr. Nip Tuck himself.
Yeah. Are you a doctor?
Plastic surgeon.
Mr. Victor Von Doom, who's great. I love him and everything.
He has a weird thing in this, though, where he looks almost like you took Dr. Doom and married him with the loveless guy from Wild Wild West and made a rapist who's also a murderer.
We've never been properly introduced. I'm Dr. Arliss Lovelace, formerly of the Confederate Army.
Yes, Dr. Lovelace.
And that's who he's playing.
All right.
Am I wrong though?
No, that's perfect because he has a very you can tell,
it's like a southern rape charm.
I think what he's trying to convey is how much he is seething right under the surface.
Yeah.
And how he's he's so deliberate in everything he says and does.
He could be the devil.
Well, because he'd be a great devil actually. But yes, you can always tell that there's so much behind everything. Where he's like,
anyway, I've learned to redirect my energy into other things. Into work.
He's in the basement.
Yeah.
It's always this it feels like it's excruciating for him to live while not killing people. Which
and
is
the wife honestly
thing.
emotes a lot that I think is yep, that's who that character is. She is just on the cusp of composure and not wanting to murder people. She wants to be normal.
And that's where the story ends. I'd like to propose a toast.
Robin Tunney, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Also, End of Days, and if you didn't say, the main thing we know her from is The Craft, obviously, right?
Empire Records, I think, is my main thing. Honestly.
Really? But
I've watched it a lot more.
Oh, well, yes, but she's Mrs. The Craft.
Yeah.
She's the main good one, or whatever you want to call it. Spoilers
her lines are so good.
Spoilers for The Craft.
Records.
Yeah, she's great. No, I think she's great. I kind of forgot about her. And I'm super happy. I hope, because I checked IMDb, really quick. I think she's actively still doing stuff.
I see her in things.
Yeah. So I didn't know that she was doing a Lena Headey, I'm in my 40s or 50s or whatever, I'm still working. And I thought she doesn't have a lot to do here, but to your point, I think she nails what she's doing.
She was perfectly cast.
Yeah, I'm this is great. Because she has that, when she tells the story, back when you supposedly, I had the premise spoiled for me, because I was trying to find the movie on IMDb to get the year and stuff. So I knew a mansion full of serial killers, and I'm oh, so I knew. But when she gives the speech about I saw a homeless man and he was this and no one even knew he was there, and she lays it on really, and then everyone claps and celebrates, when she says, and I didn't do anything about it, right? When you're what the fuck is this story even, right? It's great.
I was not spoiled. The first time I watched this, I just saw the title and clicked it, and I was oh shit. Okay, this is pretty good if you don't know it's coming.
It's a bunch of monsters having a party. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, who's to say?
There you go.
You're watching it going oh, are they vampires or what's going on here? I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So you were skipping past the class warfare angle. You knew that.
Yeah.
You knew that was bait, and you were what's going to be the reveal? What are they?
Exactly.
Are they mutant hillbillies with prosthetics on their faces? What's happening?
You knew something. Was happening.
There's some.
And honestly, it's the lowest of what I'm my mind goes wild. Are they aliens who eat humans? I don't know.
Exactly.
Could be anything. But no, I enjoyed it. I like what we have here. I like who's the guy that is their leader of real men?
Milo?
We're gonna not be murdered. Yeah, that guy is great.
I forgot what he's in too. He's been in a bunch of things.
He's one of those guys where you know his face from so much.
I didn't see The Wire. I think he's on every episode of The Wire
Probably.
or something. I didn't watch
The Wire.
crime things
I don't
usually.
Watch serious things.
Yeah. He was in some other stuff. It's escaping me now.
Just his thing, you owe everything to me.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for me, you'd be in prison with cum dripping out of your ass. I was that's a fucking good line.
Rotting away in some maximum security prison with cum dripping out of your ass is because of me. Don't you ever forget that.
A bit much, but it kind of
is a bit much, and
it
I
explains
think that's when you are I'm prison top dog kind of guy. He's clearly older now, and honestly, it's only been 3 years, so he wasn't that much younger when he started this. But it feels like he's lost a step in it being years since he's murdered, and that would never have happened to him years ago. But he lost their respect, and now even he lost his shit, and he murders Pretty Boy.
He you can feel him trying to assert control over the group.
Yeah, he wants to be good.
And it's awesome how the way they control each other and the situation is the same thought process that they were using when they were just killing people, right? And like you're saying, him too, when he tears the dude's face and all that stuff, I was oh god, because that drives the point home that he's not merely doing something it's not like Dexter. It's not I'm trying to get off, but I'm also trying to I'm just trying to get rid of this bad person or whatever. That's him enjoying it.
Yeah.
And then him just hitting and stabbing and stabbing and stabbing.
Oh, he's gonna snap this guy's neck.
Right.
But rips the face and then clubs him. There's a pan later of the room, and the blood is everywhere from him beating that guy.
The blood spatter and stuff. Yeah, I thought he was gonna pull on his wound to get him to stop, and then be you people are doing this, well, stop it, and then do whatever. But he just goes full sicko mode.
Oh yeah,
it's terrible. Yeah.
No more killing.
The son might be the best in the movie.
Nice.
Like, in that he looks like a fucking serial killer.
Yeah.
And everything he delivers the lines, I'm like, yeah, you're that creepy kid. Like, I don't want to talk to you.
But you got yourself a good-looking girl. I'd take really good care of her if I were you.
No, I'm so happy to hear you say this because I was afraid because I don't know this kid. I don't know. Where
I've
he's
never seen him
from.
in anything.
Okay, good.
And that's, I think, honestly, why he was able to shine so brightly. Because there was no, I didn't go into going, oh, you're that loser from blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like,
because
he was great.
Because like if you go on his IMDb, he has like longer hair. It's not all tight and stuff. And something, you know, he was acting with his face to make himself look. Yeah, I really like this character too because he's constantly needling the one dude Dodge about. Cause,
Let me see your hand.
Because him and Iris are like a couple. Yeah, but he keeps and like the way he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I was just kidding."
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I was just kidding.
Okay, so you're gonna go or you're gonna watch me piss?
But the way he's like smiling without using
Yeah.
his eyes and stuff, and you're like, oh, what the
Sociopath.
fuck? Yeah, because they know, because he's trying, you know, I mean, clearly, but he's trying to goad him into like...
he's getting it.
He's trying to escalate, and it's working.
Well, because
right? It's very
it's this
sinister.
great thing where, like, in a different movie, that same character would come off as like, oh, can't wait for this rich kid to get his ass kicked. But you're like, no, he's like a murderer.
He's going to kill you,
He's
yeah.
going to kill you. Like
Yes.
it's rare to have that same quality of like, I hate you for what you're saying, and you can back up the things you are saying.
Yeah.
And he executed both of those, I thought, really well.
Because he's not being shitty because he's just that type of shitty person. He, you know, everything, like these sociopaths.
Calculated.
Yeah, everything they do is calculated to try to get a certain reaction or to like manipulate someone's behavior. And that comes through in a lot of the performances, which is a lot more than we should be able to get out of a movie.
Yeah.
Because this is mid-budget, right? This is not like a real movie.
I would say this is pretty low budget, honestly,
yeah, exactly.
for who they have, especially.
Yeah.
The like, honestly, you can tell he's like, oh, that's your dad, yeah. You can like they fell, and when the dad's like, that a boy, like when he's going off, I'm like, oh man, okay, yeah.
The body language and like the little stuff when they're all in the hallway and like
little smiles
and he looks kind of like because his mommy is there yelling at him, right? And he has that reaction. I'm like, oh my god, this is a movie. This is great.
What's so weird to me is like our boy has the gun and he's walking him down the stairs to go like try to get to his friend, and the guy 1 foot in front of him is holding a meat cleaver that he used to cut and kill his friend.
Think about what you're doing, Sal. Jeremy, that's enough.
And he doesn't like say like put that down. Like he's just holding it like it's Tuesday. We hold our cleaver.
Yeah, it's a little
like,
chaotic.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. And like when he's coming at him and missing and it's like for king.
Yes.
King. Like that's a butt clencher moment.
No, I forget what they're cutting between there, but isn't it multiple things at
choking is
once?
happening from Pretty Boy, and the cleaver fight is happening over here.
Is there a third thing with the girls, I think? But it's great.
I think that
that's an awesome sequence.
That's also Milo is like, stop it! No. So like it's cutting between.
No, like but the way it's cutting between, and like you're saying, the sound of like the blade hitting, like they're next to a pillar, I think, but the floor is like
it's like granite or something.
Fine marble and all that shit. It's going and just like missing and stuff. Yeah. And that's like, you know, like my notes during that sequence are like, he's doing this, she's bashing his, he's doing that, he's over here, he's doing okay, but not for long. Like, oh no, what's happening? Like, yeah, it's like there's I would say tension. You know, they're nailing in a lot of these.
And then when they do execute these maneuvers, the visuals are pretty good. Like,
everything's fine.
One dude gets his fucking leg, cut off. We got someone who gets their melon split. Like these are pretty good shots here. There's some weird ones when it cuts back later on. Like our boy with the chainsaw, like gets his leg cut off and then like the chainsaw kind of falls on him.
Yeah.
When it cuts back to his body after the fact,
It's
like,
like a
like
mess,
look at
right?
how much damage has been done. It's like, what the fuck is that? That's because I guess the actor wasn't there that day. They're like, just put the prop there or whatever, and they have to mutilate the face. So I'm like, I don't think the face was mutilated. I think that kid was in Daybreakers.
Okay.
Playing almost the same character.
Fuck you, loser! Is this what you were trying to do?
Okay.
And I like him, honestly. I think he was pretty good too. Where I'm like, that's a rich, preppy, date rapist college kid. Like that's who that is.
So before you like officially know that they're all murderers, they're up in the whatever suite room, whatever, doing coke and stuff. And just the thing with his like doing this one, and shit, I was like, this is perfect, like shitty frat boy doing, and he, like even the way he asks him, like, do you want to bump? And does all the fucking thing. It's like so perfect to nail.
You want to bump? You want to bump a cocaine? Right? Want to bump? Want to bump a cocaine? Come on. Let's have one. Right here.
The shittiest. Because, yes, they're murderers, but they're also shitty in these other ways, too. So it's perfect.
The one guy is American Psycho.
Yes.
I'm like, that's great.
Big time. Oh, and like
mixed with Henry Rollins. I don't know.
And they're so into it, and the way that like cracks his neck and like let's do it. And I'm like, you suck so much. Like she stabbed you in the face. You're a moron. And he's just like, let's get her and stuff and all those moments. Right? It's great because they're so like they're psychopaths, sociopaths, right? They're whatever.
I didn't get why all their pictures were in his like safe room. I was like, that's weird. Like commemorate the murders to link you to other murders if there's a police investigation. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, let's talk about this room. This is a good time in this room. This is when we introduce Mickey.
Yeah,
stuff.
He's
I feel about
too,
this
because you see him in a family picture. And then he looks like a crazy clown in the next picture.
It's very different.
I wasn't sure, did he just move erratically during the photo so it like smeared him? Because it looked like one of his eyes was shut and his hand looked weird. Like,
so it looked like he was like, had like a facial deformity on like half of his face.
Yeah, like the Elephant Man style.
Yeah, and that this rich like preppy family sort of hides him because, you know, he like shame on them, all the usual stuff. I was actually hoping he would become just like, and he does come out like a Sam Raimi hurricane, but I thought he was going to be a force of chaos that was going to throw everything out of
whatever. He doesn't care who he's killing.
He's just killing everybody, exactly. And it turns out no. But yes, he has like a little like
he's like a clown.
What is it called? Whistle? Bell? I don't know what the fuck that is. He has a little honker that a clown would have.
Good night, God bless.
And yeah, he has one stupid line, and they kill him.
He like eats her face. Off,
yes.
Like very quickly, I might add, very quickly.
Yeah.
And he chipmunks it and then like spits it all out. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the way that chunks fall out of his mouth, and then when it cuts to her like laying there, you're like, oh, he ate her face to death.
You
oh
think
no.
like, oh, he went for the neck. No, he went for I'm going right for the brain, through the head. Like
just
what?
Through all this, just
very,
gristle.
Very odd. But his head getting split was pretty good.
That was
I
cool.
like that.
That's the samurai head split thing. I thought,
but it's good.
I think that the whole Mickey thing kind of takes away from the overall.
It is worthless.
Flow. I agree.
If you were going to do it,
They
yes,
planted
that's
early
what it
and
would
then
have been. It would have been like,
happens.
oh, hey, you're going to hit this button, and that turns off the power so that I can do this thing. And when he turns the power, it turns off like the electric fucking
turns off
door.
Mickey's cage.
And now the raptor is loose in the house.
Yes.
And that is a secondary thing. We're like, no.
And like we put him in the basement whenever company comes over, so he wants revenge on us, and now's his chance. Or I thought, okay, like we are the survivors, and we have an ally in Starlight, and then it's like, okay, well now we get another ally in this like
or
Gollum
maybe he
figure
wouldn't
or
hurt
something.
Starlight because that's his sister.
Exactly.
And
they kind of have a thing. But so like
really.
I kind of like that they do the opposite when she's like, Dad, no, stop. When he's like playing the song, I was like, oh, this is a fucking tense moment.
No. Dad!
Kind of undercut by how goofy and lame Mickey is when he
Well,
emerges.
it's
right?
also, like, I think, undercut by its own bullshit because it wasn't like, oh, Dad, no, and he pushes a button and releases him. Dude just kind of pulls back the fence and gets out on his own.
Well, he plays the song, which is like his
kill
MK
trigger,
Ultra
I guess,
trigger.
yeah.
Exactly. So this whole section, I think, is a low point.
Yeah,
overall.
I would agree.
Okay, good.
Well, I think the lowest point for me, I can excuse things that are just like bad, but things that don't make sense kind of where I get hung up.
No.
So like at this point, all we know is alive is our one crazy brother.
We're gonna play a game. For one of you, this is gonna be an awakening. Good morning.
And he bats, our boy in the face and presumably knocks out Starlight
at the very
somehow.
end.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then sets them up in this weird thing where they're somehow tied with crisscrossing ropes and have the ability to cut loose the other one.
Yeah.
I don't understand how one could do that alone. At all. Honestly, with 3-4 people would probably be pretty difficult. It involves teetering and tying precise rope angles.
Yeah, I think it's very elaborate and very goofy. I only find this section useful for my like political analysis of the movie. Otherwise, I was just kind of like, whatever, I get it. He's like, he could have just killed them, but he's a prick and he's full of himself and he's set up an elaborate
It's
trap
only really
ruse
dumb
thing.
because he is planning on killing them both anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
he's playing with his food, which is a theme.
I like the
film,
idea of him knowing, or even it being a joke where both lines, whichever one you cut, make the guy drop, like something like that. Because to make his sister, who up until this point has not killed a killer, might be something fun for a psychopath to do. And I do like that ultimately she does become a killer anyway.
I actually thought that was going to be a thing, that was the plot line where she ends up not wanting to escape anymore because she finally has to kill and realizes that that's her nature or something, and she sends him away and says, no, I belong here, or some fucking thing like that. I also thought that her cutting his rope, Charlie's rope first without even thinking about it.
Please don't fucking do this, please!
Was a part of some plan where now she's in the water and she has a knife and she can like get herself, and it was going to be a thing, but it's not. I also literally wrote in my notes while he was giving his supervillain speech, I think someone might still be alive and like upset his plans. Maybe the mom who he didn't actually see die.
And then like seeing her even get tackled because I was like, wait a minute. Ends from that kid where I'm like, okay, I guess he's just a little psycho. I don't know if that was part of the dad's plan or not, or what that was.
No, like frat boy just and she's running to like stop the the men of the family from carrying out their plan. But like the way it's filmed, something's, or like you should know, or you could guess something's up. I like the idea that the mom would die so unceremoniously as well. So I got to enjoy that for 30 seconds, but then I'm like, no, it's probably because she's not. I thought he stabs her and then laughs at her, dead body and runs away, but I don't know.
It's just a weird jump.
It's very quick.
He just like tackles her and she passes out, I guess. I don't know.
We don't see her face, I think, right?
The dad gets samurai sliced across his guts, and like the classic YouTube tutorial condom guts come out.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's honestly cool. It's fine because I don't know. And like, I even thought in that scene that Starlight was going to be like, am I saying the right word? Starlight?
Starlight.
Is that her thing? It's been years. Starlight is basically like I thought, seeing her dad be killed might turn her against, our kid here.
Yeah.
Right. But instead, we just get the inversion where he says back to her the same line she said to him. It's like, no time for emotions. Let's go.
No time for emotions.
And she's like, okay. Right? Oof.
It is true, though.
Oof. She doesn't have emotions, though. That's cheating.
No time for emotions.
So there's like an ending beyond the ending. Like, like the mom and sister kind of like, take a turn to kill the brother. But then it's like, okay, so what do I do to end this? $100,000 and one of your cars.
What's it going to take for you to forget all this?
$100,000. One of your cars.
Done.
And then mom makes the deal that they were gonna trick him with earlier. And he sweetens it. Give me a car too, right?
Yeah.
Oof. I also love the quick shot of Robin Tunney like dragging a body and then going like, oof, like I have to clean up so much, fuck. And then but then we just cut away. We don't dwell on this like aftermath. You just assume, I guess, they're gonna make it work.
Yeah, you kind of picture him and Starlight, because he didn't have a girlfriend going into this, like the other two were a couple. So you kind of thought like, oh, is he gonna end up with her? I guess not. Whatever. So he goes and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot your dad was kidnapped by like a gangster dude.
So your dad has a gambling problem.
And his thumb was cut off or whatever. Like shit's real.
Dad's payment.
Okay, you have the $10,000 to pay for this.
It's like a ticking clock.
90,000 more now.
Yeah.
And he goes up there. He's got his katana in hand. And honestly, I think this is a bit much.
Yeah.
He murders the guy at the door.
Had a rough night there, samurai?
Who's like talking to his wife like, yeah, I'll get the groceries or whatever. Oh, and his neck gets slashed. Like, oh shit, okay. And then he kills like patrons and all the other security members.
I wrote a note down in the middle, something like, are all these people bad guys? Like, who is he killing?
I think they just work. Like, this is an actual club. Yes, it might be owned by the mob or whatever, but like people take jobs. It's the whole Death Star thing. Like, did they all have to die?
The dude cleaning the toilet in the Death Star is like, oof, how could this day get any worse? That's Luke's flying.
But he murders everybody and then gets in there and like slices the top of the brain off that guy. And you're like, oh shit, okay. And then his dad just gives him a look like, you're a fucking monster, and it ends. And I'm like, okay, you half expected, like, is he going to murder the dad too?
I'm taking this money, Dad.
House?
Yeah. So, like, I was really, yes, practically speaking, it is a bit much and all that stuff. And I'm trying to, like, interpret it and everything. And it's too long to say everything. But, like, I really like how he has this experience with these rich and powerful people, right? When, like, they have so much money that all these problems could have, like, been instantly, like, solved and all that stuff, right? But he's the one that has to deal with all the problems, and he tried to do it all the right way.
Yeah.
Yes, he tried to steal 10 grand from these impossibly rich people, right? But if you think about it, right, he just watched a bunch of rich people who are, like, addicts, who, like, fell off the wagon and will face no consequences, seemingly, right? Unless he had killed them. That's the consequence. But everything is going to be covered up anyway. Whether or not he got killed, whether, whoever won that day, his poor fucking dad falls off the wagon because he has a gambling problem. And what happens? He's fucking bleeding in the back room of some club with his finger, and his stupid fucking son is out on this doomed mission to try to secure a 10 grand bag overnight when they're just like, and you see how shitty their apartment is.
Dad?
And when they go to the mansion, there's like a drone shot of like how impossible fucking dollhouse candy. Their
driveway's 1,000 feet.
Yeah, their fucking estate is so like amazing, and like they put like a filter. It's like a certain contrast. Like it looks dreamy. It looks like, wow. Look at how these people live.
The power
and all that
rich.
stuff,
There's no filter. That's just what it looks like.
So at the end, he was just like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna like play this game. I'm gonna go do what they would do because they can do it. Why can't? Fuck it, I'll do it. And he just does what
the biggest difference is they'll get away with it, and now he would probably have gotten away with all the murder at the mansion because they're going to sweep it up themselves.
Exactly, they will take care of
this is a way that like there's probably security cameras there. People saw him. He didn't kill any of the ladies. He left his fingerprints on the sword. Like. You're just asking for it.
I know that that's true in like real life, but from, for like the analogy of the movie or something like that, I feel like he's saying like, oh, they were just gonna trick me and drug me and throw me away and no one would ever believe me because I'm a piece of shit. I live in like the underworld of the city where everything's shitty and they can just kidnap my dad. Why is no one in trouble for kidnapping my dad? No one gives a fuck about us, right? I can do whatever I want. There's no accountability here. Whatever, fucking whatever, right? Because the upper class people have their own system over there, right? And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Now, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
He's going to spend the rest of his life in jail.
I don't know if his dad is going to be cool with what just happened, right? And that's the whole thing, too, is like this whole experience pushed him into doing it like that, right? Because you would think, like, oh, he's our hero. He's our protagonist. He's our good boy. He's like, I need 10 grand and I need this. That's all I need. I'm not here to, like, rob you. I'm just trying to save my dad, right? But no, he's like, 100 grand. And what do you got, a Lambo? I want that. What do you got? What do you got? Fucking Ferrari? Give me that, right? He's just like, no, I'm taking it. I'm securing the bag. Today's my day. For the big score, right?
He should have said, I want 100 grand, the car, and your daughter's hand in
daughter.
marriage.
And your daughter.
That way he gets the money forever.
And she's like, okay.
Honestly,
she's having a bad day, honestly.
Yeah, she's a murderer.
Everybody's dead.
Fuck pussy.
Is that in the Coke bump scene?
I would fuck her in the pussy. I would take her in the pussy.
Yeah, no, in the end, they cut to a rap song, and the chorus of the rap song is Monster Party. I think they commissioned...
Yeah, they did.
That's fucking awesome.
On this party started shawty, oh, is that right? Monster Party counting bodies, yeah, I'm that guy.
When I first listened to the song, I rewound and listened to the song again. I like the song.
It's a banger. It slaps. Yeah. I'm like, holy shit. And like the way they like bookends. They Monster Party is in these big block letters. This like modern like brutal style. It's not like Times New Roman Gothic lettering. It's like this. Poof. It feels like a music video. It like really hits. It's really good.
Yeah, they could have filmed a banger music video in this mansion with those people.
Yeah.
I miss the days when you would, at every scene of a movie, have the cast sing a song, and then you'd cut together all these locations of the song being sung from different cast members.
So
that was a thing for a while in the early 2000s.
Exactly. So like, you would see people in the movie, even with like blood makeup on, being like, Wild Wild West, Jim West, Desperado, none of this. No, I don't want nada. Right?
That's great. Not one of them, but yes.
No, in this movie, that would be the song because they're all fans.
Okay.
You mentioned, Silas Spiderfuck earlier. Severus Snapehead, whatever his name is.
I grow less and less knowing who you're talking about.
The spider man, the Severum persnickety guy, whatever his name is. The main bad guy of Wild Wild West. What's his name? Loveless. What's his first name? It has like a ring to it or whatever.
It's Artemis Gordon, and
they have such good names.
I forget what his name is. Something's very, very southern. Like Cornelius
Yeah.
Lovelace.
Percival
Yeah.
Thurgood Lovelace II. Something crazy.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Let's go chop some tomatoes.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only